What's good, family? Let me put y'all on real quick because this right here might just be one of the most humiliating moments in Drake's entire career. And it didn't even happen in the States. Nah, this went down. Overseas in Europe, imagine you're Drizzy, selling out arenas, jetting across the globe, feeling like the boy as always only for one bold fan to flip the script on you in front of thousands of people. And guess what they used to clown him? Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, bruh. It's the ultimate troll move. Now, word on the street tanned these viral clips making the rounds show Drake mid-performance. Vibin', crowd lit, cameras flashing. When out of nowhere, someone cuts through the noise with a speaker blasting Kendrick's diss. Fans say the look on Drake's face was priceless shock, embarrassment. Straight up rage, but here's the crazy part. Instead of security handling, it low-key, the whole thing spiraled into a messy confrontation that has people asking, did Drake just get played in his own show? Social medias are already eating it up. The memes are going crazy. And insiders are whispering this might be the biggest L Drake's taken since the beef started. Stick around because what happened next? Cue! It gets even wilder. Drake touched. Down in Europe, thinking this tour was going to be smooth sailing. Every city was already sold out. The merch lines wrapped around the block and fans were chanting his lyrics before he even hit the stage. But what nobody could have predicted was that this leg of the tour would turn into the center of one of the messiest viral moments of his career. People close to the camp said Drake had been a little tense ever since the back and forth with Kendrick started heating up. The success of Not Like Us had been haunting him in quiet ways. Even though he pretended to brush it off online, insiders claimed he was tired of hearing it on the radio at the clubs and even blasted in random stores he walked into. So when he stepped on that European stage, the last thing he wanted was another reminder. The night started electric. The lights dropped, the crowd screamed, and the energy was through the roof. Fans had been waiting hours just to see the boy perform. From the first track to the fifth, everything seemed perfect. Drake was smiling, hitting his notes, and cracking jokes with the audience. But then, midway through, something shifted. While the bass from his song pounded through the speakers, a different sound started creeping in from the back of the arena. It wasn't just any sound, okay? It was the opening beat of Kendrick's Not Like Us. At first, Drake thought maybe he was tripping, okay? Maybe the DJ was playing with the mix. But when he looked out at the crowd, he saw a section of fans losing their minds, pointing towards someone in the back holding up a portable speaker. The beat got louder, clearer, undeniable. The crowd's cheers turned into shocked gasps. Phones went up in the air, the camera started rolling, was all about to be captured. According to fans who were there, Drake's face went from confusion to anger in a matter of seconds. He stopped mid-verse, held the mic down, and glared in the direction of the sound. Security rushed in, but the music kept blasting. That Kendrick record hit the arena harder than anyone could have imagined. The timing, the audacity, the trolling people couldn't believe what they were witnessing. One fan posted later that Drake muttered under his breath, "This what we doing now?" And the whole front row started whispering. Another claimed they saw him motion to his team as if demanding, "Somebody cut it off immediately." But the problem was the clip had already spread. Thousands of fans with phones had caught the exact moment, and social media was about to make sure it lived forever. What's wild is that instead of just ignoring it and powering through, Drake decided to address it. He leaned into the mic and said, "Y'all really brought that song to my show." And the crowd erupted. Some booed the troll, some laughed, and some even chanted along with the Not Like Us beat that was still echoing. Emotions ran high, and for the first time that night, Drake looked unsettled behind the scenes. People close to his crew were panicking. They knew that this was the exact kind of viral moment that could overshadow the entire tour. One source claimed his manager was screaming at security through a headset, demanding to know how someone snuck that in. But by then, it was too late. The clip was on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and fans were already creating memes with captions like, "Drake got pressed in 4K and Kendrick winning even when he's not in the building." Drake tried to flip the energy. He told the crowd, "Listen, I don't care about that song. I'm still the biggest out here. That's why y'all paid to see me." But instead of easing the tension, that comment made things worse. Some fans started booing. Others were cheering louder, chanting the hook of Kendrick's track. It felt like the arena was split in half. You could see it on Drake's face. He wasn't used to this. Normally, his European shows are pure love, no interruptions, no disrespect. But tonight felt different. And here's where it gets even crazier. Reports say that the fan with the speaker wasn't acting alone. Apparently, there were multiple people in different sections of the arena ready to blast the track at the same time. Security confiscated one speaker, but just when the noise died down, another one started up from the other side of the venue. This wasn't random, it was organized. Imagine being Drake in that moment. You're standing in front of tens of thousands of people, your brand on the line, and you realize that your biggest rival's anthem is haunting you in surround sound at your own concert. One fan described it perfectly, saying you could feel the embarrassment in the air. It was like the whole arena forgot it was a Drake show for a second and thought they were at a Kendrick rally. The tension backstage grew even thicker. One of Drake's close associates allegedly snapped on a security guard, shouting, "We paying y'all for what? This is embarrassing." Another insider claimed Drake stormed off stage for a few minutes to cool down, leaving the crowd confused. Some fans thought the concert was over, others booed. And a few even started chanting Kendrick's name just to stir the pot. After about 5 minutes, Drake returned, trying to hold it together. He told the audience, "They want to distract us, but we're not gonna let them win. I came here to give y'all a show, and that's what we're gonna do." The crowd clapped, but the energy wasn't the same. Could tell the incident had shaken him. And here's the kicker: rumors started flying that the person behind the whole stunt wasn't just a random fan. Some insiders whispered that local promoters or rival crews in Europe were in on it, plotting to humiliate Drake on purpose. Screenshots even surfaced online of a group chat where fans bragged about ruining Drizzy's night. The receipts weren't fully verified, but the internet ate it up as the night went on. Drake pushed through the set list, but every few songs you could see him glancing around the arena, paranoid that another speaker would pop up. Fans noticed the shift, saying he seemed distracted, less playful, more serious. One even tweeted Drake looked like he was fighting demons up there. The fallout didn't stop at the concert. As soon as the clips hit social media, celebrities and influencers began weighing in. Some laughed, calling it karma. Others defended Drake, saying no artist deserves to be disrespected at their own show. The debate caught fire, and suddenly the concert incident was trending worldwide. Back in the hotel later that night, insiders claimed Drake was furious. He allegedly threw his phone against the wall after seeing a meme of himself photoshopped into a Kendrick album cover. His team tried to calm him down, but the damage was done. The humiliation was out there. The world was talking about it. And just when Drake thought the situation couldn't get any worse, the next morning brought a shocking twist. More fans came forward with footage showing Drake arguing with someone in the crowd after the music blast. In the clip, you can see him pointing at a section of the audience, shouting something that security quickly drowned out. Some lip readers claimed he said, "You playing with my family's name?" That set off a whole new wave of speculation about what was really going on behind the scenes. This is where things took a darker turn. Rumors started circulating that Drake believed the stunt wasn't just trolling, but a direct message from people connected to Kendrick's camp. While there was no evidence, fans ran wild with the theory, sparking endless debates online. And that's where part one leaves us, with Drake shaken. The tour thrown into chaos, and everyone wondering whether this was just a one-time humiliation, or the beginning of something much bigger? The morning after the chaos, Drake's team tried to spin the story, hoping to drown out the humiliation. Insiders said his publicist wanted to frame the whole incident as nothing more than a rowdy fan with too much time on their hands. But the problem was the internet had already turned the situation into a narrative of its own. Fans weren't just laughing, they were analyzing every detail. From Drake's facial expressions to his offhand comment about family. Clips of Drake pointing and shouting at the crowd started circulating with captions like, "Drake taking it personal," and "Was this bigger than just trolling?" The speculation grew when lip readers insisted he said the word family during his rant. This immediately made fans think about all the personal shots Kendrick had taken in his lyrics. People began wondering if the fan stunt was meant to cut even deeper, hitting Drake where it hurt most. Social media detectives got to work, piecing together theories. Some claimed the fan had ties to local promoters who weren't happy with Drake's team cutting deals in Europe. Others insisted it was a coordinated attack funded by rival camps. The wildest theory, that Kendrick himself had planted the idea, telling fans overseas to make sure the beef stayed alive. There was no proof, but in the court of public opinion, proof didn't matter, drama did. Meanwhile, Drake's inner circle was falling apart. One source close to his crew described the hotel suite as a war zone. People were pointing fingers at each other, blaming security, blaming management, blaming the European promoters. Some of his friends tried to downplay it, telling Drake to laugh it off. But others were furious, demanding heads roll. According to one insider, a heated argument broke out between Drake and one of his longtime associates, with Drake allegedly shouting, "You're supposed to protect me from this. How you let that happen?" The tension didn't just stay behind closed doors. Word started leaking that Drake was considering canceling some European shows out of fear that trolling would escalate. Fans in other cities caught wind of the rumor, and tickets started getting resold for way below face value. Promoters panicked, calling Drake's team nonstop, begging him not to back out. One promoter even went on record anonymously saying, if he pulls out now, he'll never be able to tour Europe the same way again. But instead of canceling, Drake doubled down. He posted a story on Instagram with the caption, "They can try, but I'll never fold." It was short, vague, but enough to set fans on fire. People debated whether he was talking about Kendrick, the fan, or his own inner circle. Either way, the post reignited the drama. When Drake hit the next city, all eyes were on him. Fans weren't just there to enjoy the music, they were waiting to see if the same thing would happen again. Security was on high alert, checking bags, scanning for speakers, and even confiscating random Bluetooth devices. But the paranoia only made the crowd more restless. About halfway through the show, just as fans started to relax, another disruption happened. This time, instead of a speaker blasting music, someone threw a t-shirt on stage with "Not Like Us" spray painted across the front. The crowd gasped. Drake picked it up, stared at it for a moment, then tossed it aside without a word. But the cameras caught every second. Within minutes, the picture was viral. Memes popped up everywhere with captions like "They won't let him breathe," and this beef followed him to Europe. Backstage, Drake was livid. Sources claimed he slammed the dressing room door and refused to come out for nearly an hour. After the show, one insider said he accused his own team of leaking his location to trolls. Another insider claimed he called out one of his oldest friends for not stepping up during the chaos. The emotional toll was showing, and then came the twist nobody expected. The fan responsible for the first incident, the one with the speaker, surfaced online. He posted a video bragging about how he pulled it off, holding up the same speaker. In his living room, "I did it for the culture," he said. Drake needed to be humbled. The clip spread like wildfire, and fans debated whether he was brave or just reckless. Drake's camp, however, wasn't laughing. Insiders say lawyers were immediately involved, with Drake's team allegedly exploring whether they could sue the fan for damages. Some people close to the situation claimed Drake wanted to make an example out of him to deter others. But that only fueled more backlash. Critics accused Drake of being thin-skinned and unable to handle criticism. The fan didn't stop there. In another video, he claimed he had friends in different cities ready to repeat the stunt, warning Drake that the tour was not safe. Whether he meant it literally or just as trolling, the threat added fuel to the fire. Fans started speculating whether Drake would finish the European leg at all. And the story took another dramatic turn when celebrities started chiming in. Some of Drake's peers posted subtle shade, liking memes that mocked him. One rival rapper tweeted, "Imagine getting cooked at your own show." Another posted, "The universe always finds a way to humble you." But not everyone piled on. A few big names defended Drake, saying artists should be able to perform without being harassed. Still, the damage was undeniable. Drake's humiliation had become a global conversation. Even people who didn't follow rap closely were hearing about it. Late-night shows made jokes and talk shows debated whether he was being bullied or just finally facing consequences for. Years of feuds. The emotional weight on Drake was growing heavier. Insiders claimed he stopped going out after shows, choosing instead to lock himself in hotel rooms with just a few trusted people. One source described him as paranoid, checking every sound, every noise, like he was waiting for the next troll to strike. His mother, who had flown out to see part of the tour, was reportedly worried. She allegedly told him, "You can't let them get to you like this." But Drake wasn't listening. Family drama started bubbling when one of his cousins leaked private conversations to blogs, claiming Drake was breaking down and needed to step away from music. That betrayal cut deep, leaving Drake feeling even more isolated. And just when it seemed like the drama couldn't escalate further, Part 2 closes with another shocking revelation. Leaked footage began circulating that allegedly showed a heated argument between Drake and one of his own bodyguards after the show. In the clip, Drake is seen pointing angrily while the guard tries to walk away. Fans online claimed this was proof that his inner circle was collapsing. The question now wasn't just whether Drake could handle the trolling. It was whether his entire empire was beginning to crumble under the weight of humiliation. The leaked footage of Drake arguing with his own bodyguards spread across the internet faster than wildfire. Blogs ran with headlines like "Drake turns on his own team" and "The boy versus his own boys." Fans were shocked. For years, Drake's crew had been portrayed as tight-knit, a family that always had each other's backs. But now the world was seeing cracks in that armor. The clip itself wasn't crystal clear, but you could make out Drake shouting and pointing, while the bodyguard tried to back away. Lip readers claimed Drake was saying, "You're supposed to have my back, and you made me look weak." Whether those exact words were real or not, the damage was done. Fans flooded comment sections saying things like, "He's unraveling," and "This beef really got him pressed." Behind the scenes, insiders claimed the argument was about more than just the fan incident. Apparently, Drake had been suspicious that someone in his own camp had leaked details about his travel schedule, making it easier for trolls to pull off their stunt. Paranoia had set in. He wasn't sure who to trust anymore. One source close to the situation said Drake felt betrayed. He thinks somebody on the payroll is secretly working against him. This paranoia started spilling into his performances. During the next stop on the tour, fans noticed Drake was unusually quiet between songs. Instead of his usual jokes and heartfelt speeches, he rushed through the set list like he wanted to get it over with. The crowd was still excited, but they could feel the difference. Midway through the show, yet another interruption shook the arena. This time, a group of fans held up massive signs that read, "Not like us," in bold red letters. Drake paused, looked at the signs, and shook his head. "Y'all really gonna let them play with me like that?" he asked into the mic. Some fans cheered, others booed. The atmosphere was tense. After the show, the tension exploded again backstage. Insiders revealed that Drake confronted his crew, accusing them of slacking and not being loyal. "I got the world laughing at me right now. And y'all don't care," he allegedly shouted. One longtime friend tried to calm him down, saying, "Bro, it's just trolling. Ignore it," but Drake wasn't having it. The divide between him and his inner circle grew wider. And then came another bombshell twist. A European tabloid published an article claiming to have sources who overheard Drake admitting he felt humiliated and betrayed by the trolling. The article painted a picture of Drake as fragile, insecure, and even considering cutting the tour short. Drake's team denied the report, but fans weren't buying it. The perception was already set. Drake was spiraling. This is where family drama entered the mix. Drake's father, Dennis Graham, gave a cryptic interview where he said, "My son needs to focus on what really matters, not all this drama." Fans immediately took it as shade. Blogs ran with headlines like Drake's own father says he's distracted and family divided over humiliation. It didn't help that a cousin had already leaked private conversations. Now it looked like Drake couldn't even rely on his family for support. Meanwhile, Kendrick fans were having a field day. Social media was flooded with edits of the concert footage, mixing Drake's meltdown with clips from Kendrick's music videos. Hashtags like #NotLikeUsChallenge and #DrakeHumiliated trended for days. Some fans even started predicting that Kendrick would address the situation in his next verse, making things even worse for Drake. Drake tried to clap back on Instagram Live. Sitting in a dimly lit hotel room, he told fans, "They trying to make me the joke, but I'll never be the punchline. I built this from the ground up and I'm still standing." While some fans showed support, others thought the rant only made him look more defensive. Memes immediately popped up with captions like, "The boy is crying in 4,000 and he's breaking character." The drama escalated further when more behind-the-scenes leaks surfaced. This time, a voice memo, allegedly, from one of Drake's associates spread online, where the person claimed Drake was losing it and blaming everyone around him for the trolling. The memo wasn't verified, but it fueled the fire. Fans and blogs dissected it line by line, adding to the narrative that Drake was unraveling. By now, the European press was treating the saga like a soap opera. Every city on the tour became a new episode. Would there be another trolling stunt? Would Drake explode on stage? Would his team fall apart completely? Fans who had bought tickets months in advance now said they were going just to witness the chaos, not even the music. The humiliation reached a peak during a show in Germany. Midway through his performance, someone hacked into the venue's sound system and blasted the chorus of "Not Like Us" over the speakers for a few seconds before it was cut off. The crowd erupted. Some screamed in excitement, others booed, but everyone pulled out their phones. The clip went viral instantly. Drake's single quotes as reaction was devastating. Instead of brushing it off, he slammed his mic to the ground and stormed off stage. Fans booed. Some left the venue early. Insiders say he locked himself in his dressing room for hours, refusing to talk to anyone after that night. Rumors swirled that Drake was ready to fire half his team. Insiders claimed he believed someone on the inside had allowed the hack to happen. One source even said he was considering canceling the rest of the tour altogether. The atmosphere around the camp was described as toxic, full of suspicion and arguments. The fallout spread beyond music. Business partners started questioning Drake's stability. One brand quietly postponed a campaign they were set to launch with him, fearing the bad press would overshadow it. Fans online debated whether Drake's reputation had taken permanent damage. And then, just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse, another shocking twist dropped. Leaked screenshots appeared online showing alleged messages between a European promoter and someone from Drake's own team. The messages seemed to suggest that the promoter knew about the trolling stunts before they happened. Fans immediately speculated that someone close to Drake was working against him. Feeding information to outsiders, whether the screenshots were real or fake, didn't matter. The narrative stuck. Drake was now seen as a man surrounded by snakes, unable to trust anyone. The humiliation had grown beyond just Kendrick's diss it, had become a full-blown saga of betrayal, paranoia, and collapse. As Part 3 closes, the world is left watching Drake spiral deeper into chaos. Fans are divided. Some feel sympathy, saying no artist deserves this level of disrespect, while others say it's karma finally catching up to him. Drake himself. Insiders say he's obsessed with finding out who betrayed him, convinced that the real enemy isn't just outside the camp, but inside too, as the European leg of the tour limped toward its final dates. The tension around Drake's camp was unbearable. Insiders described the atmosphere as like a reality show, screaming matches, tears, and people packing bags in the middle of the night. Everyone felt the weight of the humiliation, and the whispers about betrayal inside the camp had Drake pacing like a man possessed. The alleged leaked screenshots, showing a promoter in contact with someone close to Drake, kept spreading. Fans on Twitter dissected the usernames, trying to figure out who it was. The wildest theory was that it came from someone Drake trusted for years, someone always in his photos, always in the background. Fans began pulling up old interviews, analyzing body language, looking for cracks in loyalty. The narrative was out of Drake's control. Then came the bombshell. A well-known gossip blog dropped an exclusive claiming one of Drake's longtime associates, let's call him Jay, had secretly been in touch with rival promoters. According to the blog, Jay allegedly gave away details about security and staging, making it easier for trolls to sneak in their stunts. The blog even posted what they said were voice notes of Jay laughing about the humiliation Drake faced in Germany. Whether real or fabricated, the story exploded. That night, after a show in Paris, Drake confronted Jay in front of the entire crew. Insiders say it was like something out of a movie. Drake allegedly shouted, "You've been eating off me for 10 years and you stabbed me in the back?" The room went silent. Jay denied everything, saying the leaks were fake, but Drake wasn't. Hearing it, the two nearly came to blows before security stepped in. Word of the confrontation leaked almost instantly. Fans online couldn't believe it. Drake beefing with Kendrick and his own crew at the same time trended worldwide. Fans started calling Drake the lonely boy, mocking him as isolated and betrayed. Others felt sympathy, saying fame had turned his inner circle toxic. The next night, during another show, Drake finally addressed the situation on stage. With the crowd buzzing, he took a moment mid-set and said, "You think you know who really loves you? But sometimes the ones closest to you want to see you fall, but I'm still here." The arena erupted, half in support, half in awkward silence. Some fans recorded the speech and captioned it, "Drake airing out his crew, live." But the trolls weren't finished. During that same show, someone in the front row held up a cardboard cutout of Kendrick's face. The cameras caught it, and the crowd roared. Drake's expression said it all. He was drained, humiliated, and furious. He finished the show, but the energy was gone. After the performance, Drake reportedly told his team he was done with the European leg. Insiders said he wanted to fly back to Toronto immediately. Promoters begged him to finish, warning him of lawsuits and financial penalties, but he didn't care. "My sanity is worth more than money," he allegedly told them. The next morning, headlines broke. Drake cancels final tour dates. The backlash was immediate. Fans who had waited months felt betrayed, demanding refunds. Critics mocked him, saying Kendrick had ended not just his peace of mind, but his European run. The humiliation had reached its peak. But in the middle of the storm, Drake made one last desperate attempt to reclaim the narrative. He went live on Instagram again, this time surrounded by a small group of supporters. No big entourage, no flashing lights. Just Drake in a hoodie speaking directly to the camera. "They tried to embarrass me, tried to tear me down," he said, his voice low but firm. but I'm still here. I built this legacy from nothing, and nobody can take it away. Not a troll, not a rival, not even someone close to me. The live drew hundreds of thousands of viewers. Some fans rallied behind him, flooding the comments with hearts and messages of support. But others weren't convinced. The memes continued, the jokes didn't stop, and Kendrick's fans gloated that their guy had won the war without lifting a finger. Behind the scenes, Drake's family drama was boiling over too. His mother reportedly begged him to come home and rest, worried about his mental health. One cousin went to the press again, saying he needs to step away from the spotlight before it breaks him. Drake felt more isolated than ever. But here's the wildest twist, just when people thought Drake would retreat quietly. Rumors surfaced that he was planning to drop a surprise track aimed not just at Kendrick, but at the trolls, and even his own crew. Insiders claimed he had been recording in makeshift studios throughout Europe, pouring his frustration into music. Fans speculated the track would either redeem him or bury him deeper, as Part 4 closes. The image of Drake is messy, fragile, and explosive. He's lost control of his tour, battled his own inner circle, faced betrayal, been clowned by trolls across an entire continent. But instead of bowing out gracefully, he seems ready to gamble everything on one last move, a song that could either flip the script or confirm the narrative of his downfall. The stage is set, the tension is unbearable, and the world is waiting to see what happens next. So family, after everything that went down, the story of Drake's European humiliation feels less like a tour and more like a reality show that nobody can turn off. From the first troll blasting "Not Like Us" to the arena hacks, to the betrayals inside his own circle. This run overseas turned into the most chaotic chapter of Drake's career. Fans are still divided. Some feel sympathy, saying no artist deserves this level of disrespect, while others swear it's karma for years of beefs and power plays. But here's the real question: what happens next? Will Drake actually drop that rumored diss track and flip the narrative back in his favor? Or will it backfire and give Kendrick fans even more fuel? Will he rebuild his inner circle? Or is this the beginning of the end of an empire we thought was untouchable? The family drama, the paranoia, the trolling, it's all still in the air. And honestly, Europe might just be the start. Fans in the States are already whispering about pulling the same stunts when Drake brings the tour back home. If that happens, this could spiral into something even bigger, even messier. But now I gotta ask you, whose side are you on? Was Drake unfairly targeted and pushed to his breaking point? Or did the boy finally get humbled in the worst way possible? Do you think he can bounce back? Or is this humiliation going to stick forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I know y'all got opinions on this one. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this wild saga. 'Cause trust me, if Drake moves, if Kendrick responds, if another fan tries something crazy, we'll be right here breaking it all down.